You're tuned into Long Island's only FM sports voice. This is Sports Talk on 90.3 WHPC.
Alrighty, sports fans, coming at you 100% commercial free every Thursday evening from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on 90.3 WHPC. We are located in scenic and historic Garden City, New York, and the radio program is called Sports Talk. Woo! And here we are in the second half of the baseball season, which really is more than the second half because the All-Star game was July 17th. But please welcome to the show Yankee fan extraordinaire, Cameron Bonagora.
Yes. Hello.
Mets fan extraordinaire, Tristan Hamilton.
Unfortunately. How you guys doing?
I'm Chris Muldoon. Mark Tokachowski, Rays fan extraordinaire, will be joining us in a little bit. He's in the back getting some papers. But, so here we are in the second half, and they wait for guys to compete in the All-Star game before switching leagues with them, right? Mm-hmm. So in a poorly kept secret, of course, Ken Rosenthal is Baltimore-based, so he knows Orioles stuff. The Manny Machado was headed for Dodgerville. Mm-hmm. He was even like posing for pictures with Sean Kemp they were doing selfies and Matt Kemp, Sean Kemp, all Sean Kemp's kids. Matt Kemp. So Machado gets traded from the AL to the NL. And then today, Brad Hand, who was an all-star pitching, goes from the NL to the AL. So they could have still been even if they wanted to make the trade on Tuesday night. But now the Cleveland Indians, just like they did with Andrew Miller a few years ago, the Cleveland Indians have gone all in and gotten Brad Hand, Brad Hand was with the Marlins for many years and wasn't any kind of special kind of pitcher, but I guess he's discovered himself out in San Diego, or at least teams are hoping. I like that pitcher from Pittsburgh that was in the All-Star. Is that Vasquez, or he's a closer for Pittsburgh? He was throwing heat, and he was lefty, and I think he should go to a team, because now Pittsburgh, I think, is officially out of it, but who knows? But teams are going for it, and I don't know what to make. And we'll talk about Manny Machado. I'm Chris Muldoon, by the way, in case I didn't say that. But Manny Machado, he goes to the Dodgers, so they lose Kyle Seager for the year, right? He's going to have his torn at UCLA. Corey Seager.
Kyle's his brother.
His brother in Seattle, right? Yeah, so Corey Seager gets lost. Shortstop. He's the future there, we think, right? Because
Manny's just a rental there. Manny
says he wants to play shortstop wherever he goes. Manny's going to play wherever the highest bidder tells him to play, basically, is where he's going to go. If he's going to go to if Manny Machado winds up as a Yankee, he's going to play where the Yankees tell him to play, just as an example there. But the Dodgers, they don't need Seager. I mean, they don't need him beyond this year, or do they? I mean, this is really they get the leg up because he gets acclimated to Los Angeles. So, and I think the numbers are sure. So the Orioles made Manny happy by playing him at shortstop in the last year of his contract, and I guess all the metrics and everything are terrible on how he plays shortstop, though. He's just not a good defensive shortstop, or so they say. I don't know. But he's only 26. He's a young guy. And he's, he doesn't get hurt. So we'll see. And the Dodgers are literally putting their chips in the middle of the table, going all in, right? So until I saw Dave Roberts coaching the All-Star game the other day, I'd forgotten that the Dodgers were in the World Series last year. I mean, I knew for sure the Astros. I had no. I'm like, this is my thought process during the game. I said, did the manager from the team that was in the World Series from the NL last year get fired, or is he sick or something? Why is Dave Roberts managing this team? Let alone they went to Game 7, I think, too, as well. So because Morton won Game 7s in both. But I had no idea. That just goes to show you forget. It's the same thing with the All-Star MVP and winning team and everything. You just forget who won last year, and it's not who. And it was 10 home runs hit in this All-Star game. 10 home runs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
To break the record, which had been 6, which was a lot. This was 10, and the ball was it was almost like they were using the balls from the Home Run Derby. It was just the ball went out, and and of course Mr. Judge. The Judge was in and hit himself a home run. DeGrom had one bad pitch. Scherzer had one bad pitch to the player that the Major League Baseball commissioner thinks doesn't market himself enough, Mr. Mike Trout.
What's this a dumb comment to make?
I don't know that. I didn't get what he meant by that when he actually said it. I get what he's saying, but I'm just like...
Right.
I was confused.
There's a thing called the Q rating, which measures... It's been around forever, but it measures how the American public knows who you are. So it goes for celebrities, it goes for politicians, it goes for athletes and everything. And there's certain guys who transcend all, and like Oprah's got the ultimate Q rating and stuff. But like LeBron James, Michael Jordan have huge Q. And they brought up who there was some, you guys would know him, but some basketball player was nowhere near a household name, and apparently he has an equal Q rating to Mike Trout. And that was the point they were making. But in basketball, there's only 5 guys on the court, and you see him the whole game. So it's not like Mike Trout has 4 at-bats, and maybe he catches the ball in center field every now and then. But it's not. It's not. Plus, he plays in Anaheim. He doesn't play in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he plays in Anaheim.
Everyone wants to say he's in Los Angeles. He doesn't play in Los Angeles. He plays in Anaheim.
He play for the Dodgers.
I mean, it's like the Brooklyn Nets, in terms of
it's New York, but it's not New York.
No.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with him, and so he's not.
Kenneth Freed was the guy.
Yeah, okay.
Who's just traded to the Nets.
I do know. Yeah, I know that. I know.
Perfect analogy.
Exactly.
Watch his Q rating go right up
into the Nets.
But so that's and also the Angels, have they even sniffed the playoffs in
2-3 years?
Yeah, a lot of years, right? I mean, in terms of when have they been in the playoffs? They're really wasting his best years. They've got Pujols with this crazy contract, crazy money, crazy years, and they're just wasting Trout's best years. Yeah, and Trout is he's a Southern Jersey guy. He's more Philly than he is New York, but he's a Jersey guy. So it'd be nice to see him play in the Big Apple area. But what's interesting about him is that his pick, where he was taken, the Angels had back-to-back picks. It was like 16 and 17 in the first round of that draft, and they were both 16 and 17 were both Mets and Yankees picks because they were compensation for the Mets getting K-Rod from the Angels and the Yankees getting somebody else from the Angels. So that was the compensation picks that were given. So technically, theoretically, the Mets and Yankees both could have had a shot at getting Mr. Trout there, but they lost those picks in signing K-Rod, Long Island Duck K-Rod, right? And Talkie would be all over that. Oh, K-Rod's on the Ducks, But so for when your commissioner says he doesn't market himself, it's another thing. It's like, isn't that kind of your job? Isn't baseball supposed to market? You don't see Adam Silver saying that. He's saying, I don't think LeBron or I don't think Lonzo Ball markets himself enough. Exactly. But Lonzo Ball is a perfect jumping off point.
I don't know if you noticed. Have you noticed that even Kawhi has been in more commercials lately and everything? And he doesn't talk, and that's the funny thing.
That's the thing. He doesn't talk,
but he's in commercials.
He does not. He does not talk. Yeah, no. And odd. So he gets the trade official. It's official. So he gets traded to Toronto. Mm-hmm. You get a guy.
Neither one of them like.
Neither one of them.
If I'm DeRozan, but I think it hit DeRozan more the fact that he's saying that they promised him he wouldn't get traded. He went to them and they said that they promised. So I think I could get that, but and then everybody has that one NBA player in the NBA they don't like. Right? If you see him, you will walk past him, or you just
Yeah.
But for me, mine has always been Kyle Lowry. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's been around forever.
But it's been Kyle, and then I'm surprised they traded him.
Yeah.
Instead of Kyle Lowry.
Well, they had, the Spurs had to get a good player. And then I guess the position is close. Yeah. They both play both sides of the ball, could fit into a system. It's It's almost perfect. And everything about DeRozan is he's like a Spurs type player. Right.
Yeah. Quiet, just handles his business.
Exactly. Workmanlike.
And then he doesn't like this trade, but it's going to make him even much better.
Oh, of course.
It's going to make him even much better.
When you have a chance to leave Toronto, unlike hockey, Mr. John Tavares, when you have a chance to leave Toronto, you got to do it because you're not getting the money, the taxes, the exposure, all that kind of stuff.
He doesn't even have a big.
And that's not to say like Canada. When we've gone through the NBA draft for the last 10 years, Canada's had at every draft, they have a number of top first-round picks. 2 of them, they had back-to-back first-round overall. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, Canada loves their basketball. Vince Carter will tell you that. But even Vince didn't want to go there. He went to kicking and screaming. But Kawhi Leonard, make no mistake about it. This is Popovich saying, blank you.
Yeah.
Because, you want to get traded so badly? And you only want Los Angeles because you're a Los Angeles kid?
Came out already.
Sorry, hope you like Canada.
Kawhi is threatening to sit out the whole season.
Which I would say
I think
he
this would hurt him.
But there's 2 problems with that. Number one,
it's basically in 2 years.
In the CBA, when you sit out, you can't just sit out a contract year. It doesn't count. So because they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't uphold your end of the contract. Therefore, it still continues until you play again that last year. To get that last year kicked in, you have to play.
Exactly.
So if he sits this year, doesn't matter. 1 year still left in the contract because this becomes like a nothing year. It doesn't count year. That's number one. Number two, he's got 20 million reasons to want to play. And I don't know about you.
He needs to prove something.
And Kawhi Leonard is, it's like, while he's made some money in his career,
not enough.
He doesn't have enough. Exactly. His $20 million really matters. So they'll find some way. But
the thing is, too, DeRozan is an LA kid, too. He's a LA kid. Like, he grew up in those parts of LA that's like, oh, I'm glad you made it.
Right,
so,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I can understand his pain. I guess loyalty is big to him. But I could see DeRozan actually being upset now, but staying.
Right.
Finishing his career.
DeRozan becomes Spurs.
Spurs guy. I could see it happening, being that guy. But Kawhi is definitely out. Everybody's saying, what if he does the Paul George? He will not. There's no way Kawhi is staying a Raptor. There's no way.
I don't even know if he stays a Raptor this month.
Exactly. And then I don't know if you guys follow the other trade that happened.
Carmelo Anthony.
The Melo trade, yep.
But they're going to waive him. And now the number one option.
He's going to the Rockets.
He's going to go to the Rockets.
It's pretty certain.
And then when I saw that the Heat might be an option, I was like, here he goes with the money again. Because there's no reason you need to go to Miami.
I would say so far away from Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
We've seen how everything plays out with him.
Yeah.
You know, every guy in the league, even James Harden's got to see this and be like, it plays out the same way every time with this guy. It's the same thing every time. It's like, you don't need this.
The only time I would be happy, because I want Melo to get a ring. Growing up, he's not my favorite guy to watch now. If I can be honest, my favorite guy to watch now is just Westbrook. I just like somebody who's going to give me 100% every day if I buy a ticket. Melo growing up was always my favorite player. I do want to see him get a ring, but I just think he needs to swallow his pride and come off the bench. Once he comes off the bench, that could open up, that can extend his career, because if he feels like he's a starter, he's probably a starter for maybe 1 or 2 more years. So if he swallows his pride, comes off the bench, I think that his career could get prolonged. Even D Wade is on his last limb, and D Wade plays way better than him, and he's on his last limb.
Yeah.
LeBron, we know LeBron is still the greatest player in the NBA. So I know it's a lot of a pride thing for him, but it's just the facts. It is what it is, and I think he needs to come off the bench, and he needs to accept that. But the big part of the trade that everybody's looking, oh, Melo, is Schroeder going to OKC.
Yeah.
Now, this guy is definitely, I mean, now he's going to be in the West, right? West is harder, but this guy is definitely a starting point guard.
He averaged 19 points this year.
Yes,
he's
definitely a starting point guard.
Because it was the weirdest deal, because some deals just happen, they just seem to work out for both teams. So Atlanta drafts Trae Young, right?
Yeah, but
and they're we got to get rid of Schroeder as soon as possible. Yeah, and I don't Houston's
think
like, well, not Houston, but we got to get rid of this guy. Here we go.
Let it happen, right?
And then throw in a 2022 first round.
He's a great backup point guard.
I like
he's
both those
guys. A starter. You got him and Westbrook. It doesn't stop. The ball doesn't stop. Westbrook could sit on the bench and play great minutes, and Westbrook could even play. Schroeder could play the 2 guard with both of them on the court. Maybe do a little combo like that or something. I think it's going to work out great for them.
I like the other guy in addition to Schroeder. They got 2 in that deal.
They got 2 guys?
Yeah, they got 2 guys in that deal.
No, I think they shipped the other guy off to 76ers.
He went to the Sixers.
It was a 3-team trade, yeah.
What was the guy's name?
It was something with an M.
Muscola?
Yeah.
Mike Muscola, yeah.
Mike Muscola. Yeah, he went to the Sixers.
Okay. That's interesting. And that's just a 5-foul guy.
I think this is the first real move the Sixers made. I think their roster pretty much been the same this whole time.
Yeah, because they wanted LeBron. I think they wanted Leonard.
They wanted Leonard,
and they wanted Paul George
at a point. None of those happened, so they just signed back Covington. They signed back Reddick. Yeah. Their roster is except for this, is really the same exact roster as last year. But honestly, they're good enough to go to the finals. If Simmons get a little jump shot, that's just all it depends on.
The East is wide open.
The East is, and that's why I feel
that's what Toronto should be saying to Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
they should be saying, look, you
can go to the finals.
Something like Toronto's chances went to 20-1 after they acquired him or something like that.
And you know what I think? And everybody was, everybody's on the line making jokes and stuff, and it's not fun. I think this is why DeRozan is mad too. This was definitely the year he didn't have to worry about LeBron.
Right.
And that's the only team they care about.
And now he's back in the West.
He's back in the West. And he's the
I just add some other guys too.
Yeah,
it's like, oh no,
it's like really,
the West,
really. So I think that's what's hurting him because he knows that LeBron is out. We have to worry about this Celtics team, but let's at least push it to 7 games with the Celtics team and see what we can do. Because if we take the LeBron out of the East,